Okay, so this segment of the recordings are going to be used for basics only. Okay, meaning to say, yung basics ng programming which we discussed during week 1 and the follow-up which was week 2. Okay. So again, some circuit elements that we need to understand: the LED, the resistor, which is just a limiting element for our current. Okay. Tapos basically some inputs natin from a point of view of a uh, electrical analysis. Okay. So, tanggalin ko to, yung push button gamitin ko para make or break lang siya. So, push button connections, yung one na ano natin, na terminal natin is different from two. Ito yung isang point natin, ito yung kabila. Okay? Tapos ikakabit ko lang dun sa cathode. Ito, ikakabit ko dun sa, okay, baliktad siya eh. Okay. Remember your LEDs work with the anode being interfaced to the positive terminal of your battery to the resistor, yung limiting resistor natin. And then yung negative terminal to the cathode portion which is connected to the switch natin. So kapag tinignan natin yung schematic niyan, pag ganyan lang yan. So you can see battery positive resistor. Resistor goes to the anode of your diode, and then the cathode goes back to the switch, and the switch 2 is connected to the cathode and switch 1 is connected to the battery. So ito is normally open. Okay? So when we go back to the circuit design, okay, pagka sinimulate natin, we can play it. You can see that the LED is working. Okay? So why is it working? Kasi current is flowing from the positive terminal. Well, this is conventional flow, not electron flow. Okay, according to the Americans, current is flowing from the positive terminal going into the anode and then going out of the cathode back to the source. So, if you basically talk to a Japanese engineer or Japanese technologist, they will tell you current is coming out of the negative terminal, going into the switch, going into the cathode, and going out of the anode, going to through the resistor and back to the source battery, to the positive terminal. This is electron flow theory, which is probably the correct one among the two. Kasi conventional flow theory was created or ano nga to, promoted by Benjamin Franklin. Okay? It also helped that Edison actually also adhered to conventional flow theory. Okay? But again, we're finding out years later, after finding out that the electrons were actually the current natin, yung movement of electrons, yung velocity ng electrons natin is the movement that we see as current. We basically understand now that the negative terminal is the source of the electrons natin. Okay. So yun yung pag-interpret nito on an electrical basis. So in a processor, which is this one, okay, we're using Arduino for this case, any of the terminals can actually be configured as an output. Any of the terminals can be configured as an input. Okay? It's a matter of, ano nga lang to, of deciding which one you want. Okay? Generally speaking, pag ako yung nagpo-program and I do the programming, I prefer to make 2 and 3 as my inputs. And the rest can be used as an output. Okay? So, 5 is an output. Cathode goes to the ground. So, dun sa output natin, there's actually a source amplifier. Okay? So, it's like a power MOSFET na nandun sa kabila that allows current to flow from the source of your processor, which is the VCC, itong 5 volts natin. Okay? going into the terminal natin. Okay? So, in terms of the orientation for the inputs natin, we typically do it this way. Terminal 1 to 2, and then terminal 2 goes to the ground. Kaya makikita niyo, dalawa yung ground connection na labas dito. Okay. Ayaw niya kumonek. Ayun. Okay. So, ano naman to? You're basically, by pressing the switch, you're grounding D2. Traditionally, anong ginagawa dyan? There's a resistor, a 5,000 kilo ohm resistor para lalabas 1 milliamp lang yung gagamitin mo. And you connect this one to the 5 volts. Okay? So, ito yung traditional niya na way to do the connection. Okay? So, let's change the color of this one to red. Let's change the color of this one to black para ma-match dun sa color coding scheme that is the standard that we use. Okay? So again, sa DC, red is supply, black is ground. Again, in AC setup, the Philippine Electric Code tells you that this is not so. Okay? Red, blue, uh, brown, and probably orange kung gusto mo, okay, are considered to be for live AC connections, while green and yellow and white are supposed to be for ground o yung outlet ground natin, which is green or yellow. White is supposed to be for drop line ground natin o system grounding natin, yung white. So you can only find that in ano nga to? Service entrances. Okay, yung mula sa service entrance papunta dun sa NEMA 23 IP66 na enclosure, waterproof enclosure natin na nasa labas ng bahay, which is the fireman's cutout switch. So again, this is indicated and dictated by Philippine Electric Code. Yun yung kulay na ginagamit natin for AC. For DC, it's typically red for supply, black for ground. Again, sometimes you will find equipment na hindi sumusunod dito. Okay? So it's either they're not into abiding by the standard or they don't simply care about the standard to make it harder for somebody to reverse engineer. Okay? Na ginagawa kasi talaga yun for some cases dun sa output natin. Okay? So here, meron tayong blocks and text, but for the extent of what we need, we'll be doing the coding in terms of the text natin, script language, kasi C ang basis natin dito. Okay? So, for our system, we have input terminals which are digital in nature, 0 to 13. Now, I don't recommend using 0 and 1 because this interferes with the possibility of using the serial monitor. Okay. Instead, I recommend that you use 2 going to 13. So meaning to say, you have 11 digital inputs or outputs. Now, A0 and A5 to A5 is considered to be daw our what we call as analog inputs. Pero sa totoo lang, pwedeng digital yan. Okay? It so happens that there's a multiplex uh, analog to digital converter na nandun sa end nito mga to. But they do have input and output facilities for digital nature. Yun na nga, they got wired by the creator of Tinkercad as analog instead of analog and digital. Okay. So next, the code that we use in order to preset inputs natin is called pin mode. Okay. So pin mode followed by the number. The number is any of the values from 2 to 13, and A0 to A5 natin if you want to use those as a digital input. So in this case, since kinabit ko siya sa 5, sasabihin ko 5. Okay? Pin mode 2 output is now, sorry, input pala. Input, kasi meron akong push button doon. I don't have an output load sa kanya. Input is now what we do for this case. Okay? Tapos sasabihin ko lang dito, digital write 5, high, tapos okay, wait, digital input 5, low, wait. Okay. So yung 1,000 na nakasulat dito is 1,000 milliseconds. So if I put in 100 milliseconds as 0.1 second, 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. So this basically means 1 second delay, 1 second delay. Okay? So pag nirun natin yung operation dito, you'll find that this thing will blink for 1 second and then not blink, oh sorry, turn on for 1 second and turn off for another 1 second and then it will continuously blink. Kasi yung loop natin suggests that this thing happens, yung code na nandito sa in-between happens for infinity or as long as the device is powered up. Okay. So, in order to use the input natin, we need to use an if statement in this case. So, if, okay, so this is a, ano nga to, a decision-making tool. Okay, this is the reason why a microcontroller and a computer is different from a calculator. Kasi a calculator cannot do branching condition statements. Okay, it can only do the computation part. While a computer, you can actually put in branching condition statements depending on what your inputs is. So dito, I would say, if digital read natin, hindi write. Pag nagsusulat ka to an output, you use write. Kapag nagbabasa ka to from an input, read yung ginagamit mo. Equal to low. Okay? Traditionally kasi high siya. Gawa ng nakakabit sa 5 volts to. So this will always be 5. Once you press the switch natin, it becomes connected to the ground so it becomes low. If this is low, then you can proceed to do the blinky-blinky action natin. Okay? So, kita niyo wala nangyayari. Pag pinaras ko to, at saka siya nag-progress. Okay? So, impressive, no? Okay? It's quite impressive sa totoo lang. But, ito yung case dito. Yung input condition natin dito sa isang side na to requires you to have that resistor. So, one more resistor in a circuit kung educational setting lang doesn't really mean too much. Pero in a manufacturing setting, this can be a 25 centavo difference in the production price. So, they want this one, therefore, removed. Tinatanggal yan. Okay? In order to compensate for the lack of the resistor, Atmel, the company who makes the processor, created a pathway that you have an internal pull-up resistor. So, ilalagay mo lang pull-up. Okay. So, by the way, let's just try to use it without the resistor. Tingnan natin kung gagana. Ayaw, well, gagana siya. Okay. Pero traditionally, dapat nito gagana. Okay. For it to work properly, you need to have a pull-up. Okay? Para maging consistent yung output mo. Okay? So, input pull-up, it should work properly with that. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Internally, you have that resistor inside the chip which is connected to the 5 volt supply niya. Kung maalala, nandito yata 5 nito, nandito sa gitna. Anyway, so, That connection goes virtually to pin 2 dun sa loob ng ano natin ng admin natin. And this in turn allows us to get the value of 2 when it becomes equal to low. Okay? So this is again what we call as a blocking, okay, if statement and a blocking input. So you have to poll the input every time each time. Okay? So meron rin kasing cases wherein you don't really need to poll the input. You can pwedeng outright wala tong statement na to. Okay? So in order to do that, you'll have to use a something that we call as ano nga to? Yung ano yung isang yun? Interrupts. Okay? Interrupt for Arduino. So an interrupt is basically summed up by the scenario. Ikaw ay nagluluto and then tumunog yung telepono, well, your cellphone probably, at may nakatok sa pintuan. Okay? So, you're doing something, yun yung main routine mo, nagluluto ka, naghuhugas ka ng pinggan. And then, an impulse o a stimulus from the outside comes in. External stimulus ang tawag natin yung pagring ng telephone or pag doorbell ng tao, pag tao po ng tao sa labas. So, in turn, anong gagawin mo doon? You have to decide which is priority. So, in an interrupt, meron siyang priority level. Meron kang hardware interrupt, meron kang software interrupt. For the hardware interrupt, the priority level is, I think, 0, 1, 2, 3. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali. 0 is power down, which means the program memory goes back to 0, 0. Okay? 1 is hard reset, which means pinarest mo yung physical reset button of your processor. So, for ESP32, ito siya. Okay. For Atmel, 328 na nasa Arduino na development platform, you can see the reset switch beside the okay, ito siya. Yan, yung button na yun. Okay, beside the USB-B connector natin. Okay. So, paano siya gamitin? Okay. You need to attach the interrupts. Okay. To attach the interrupt, you need to memorize a specific variation of it, itong attach interrupt. Kasi in the old days, we used this one, itong interrupt ISR mode. Unfortunately, they found that there are problems with it. So they changed the C code in order to accommodate that one. So ang gagawin mo lang after you create the input condition dito, you place in another value. Tapos sasabihin mo, the interrupt pin 2 that you declared as an input is now an interrupt. Ito ngayon yung problema, yung ISR. You need to create an ISR for pin 2. Pin 2 pressed. Open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Okay. So, unlike Wookie, Wokwi, hindi siya automatically naglalagay nung kabilang side ng curly bracket ko. Okay. Instead, I need to type it in. So, dito, I would just say, create ako ng global variable. Int go 0. Dito, go is equal to 1. Tapos na ako. So dito, sasabihin ko lang, pin to pressed. Okay? Yung mode ngayon yung different. The mode that we want for this one, since we begin at a 5-volt value and then pag pinress natin yung button, it goes down to 0, that is high to low or falling. Okay? Pwede rin naman change each time na pindutin mo yung button. it kind of reacts. Okay, falling. So dito, ang sasabihin ko na lang ngayon, I don't need to fall. I just need to say, if go is equal to 1, do this. Tapos go equal to 0. Para isang beses lang siya nangyayari. Okay? So let's try it. Okay? Wala kasi akong semicolon. Okay? So pag pinaras ko siya, gagawin niya yun. Pag pinaras ko ulit siya, gagawin niya yun. Okay? So let's use the debug function dito. Okay? Punta ako dito sa Go. Nilagyan ko siya ng mark. Okay? So, start simulation, wala siyang ginagawa. Pag pinaras ko to, pupunta siya doon. Pag pinaras ko yun, babalik ako dito sa condition na to. Okay. So, play. Pupunta siya sa Go. Go is equal to 1. Papasok siya doon. Tapos, puro check lang siya. So, the next time I press this one, wala kasing press, tapos step na function. Okay? So, kailangan nakasaan siya. Ganyan. Step, 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 step. Tapos plus ulit. Okay? So, it goes into this function here and you get the response that you need. So, rules lang when doing interrupts. Keep your interrupt as short as possible. Pag naka 100 milliseconds ka, that's a bad use of an interrupt. Okay? Typically, ang turo sa amin, you should be around 5 lines of code maximum. So typically, nagbabago lang kami ng variable values dito. And then we proceed to exit the interrupt. Okay? So dito, kapag pinaras ko siya, pinaras ko siya, then, hindi nagbabago. Kasi hindi siya change. Nasa low value siya. Okay? Pero pagkat nilagay ko to, change. Pag pinaras ko siya, nirelease ko, mag-uulit yun. Kasi both going down from 5 to 0 and 0 to 5 ang tinitingnan niya. Okay? Pwede rin naman rising ang gamitin ko, which is 0 to 5. So, when I release the button dito, I should get a response. Okay. Ano? Button, button. Okay. So, again, I don't recommend rising kasi pag nag-startup ka, the values go to rising. Okay? I would rather use falling or change. Actually, falling lang talaga eh. That's the better one. Okay? So, yun na yun. Okay? So, if you're interested in the programming aspect of this, ito lang yung actually kailangan nyo na element sa kanya. Okay? Setting up your I/O, attaching an interrupt, creating a routine or a function for your interrupt, and then making a decision and placing an output or creating a delay or a blocking delay natin. Okay. There is a thing called a non-blocking delay. Millis yung ginagamit doon. So we'll have another version of this video to deal with the non-blocking delays. Kasi pag minsan, you really need to have a non-blocking delays, particularly if you're taking note of time, yung oras yung tinitingnan mo. Like, you want a 30-minute interval between the time that your thing uh, starts to process something, or a cooldown period na 30 minutes fixed without a blocking case dun sa processor mo. Okay? Typically, you can do a lot of stuff with delay lang. Kahit non-blocking delay siya. Marami ka lang pwedeng gawin. Pero sometimes you really need a non-blocking delay or the, ano nga to, uh, Millis approach to it. Okay? So, yun na yun muna. Thank you for watching. Okay. Let me stop the recording.